Hello, girls. Oh, I know it. I know it. I know it. Come on.
Come on, let's go. Come on, baby girls. Come on.
Oh, everybody knows where the treat basket is. Get down. Come on. Go, go, go.
Come on.
Good girls.
Go, go, go.
Hello, everyone. I'm back. This is Amy and Tiffany with 100 Plus Abandoned Dogs of Everglades, Florida. Are they still coughing and sneezing? Or not as bad with the cough tabs? Everybody that's new, or maybe you're not new, this is Pea and Pretty, and we've called her Sweet Pea and Pretty. You may look at them and say, oh my, what lovely dogs. Look how loving they are. They were not like this when we rescued them. These are two of the three from the case of the hot box dogs that we have worked on day and night for months. For months. Thank you for the clear. So what happened was they were getting along. And then Pretty, the darker one, started coughing and doing the backwards cough and sneeze. And Sweet Pea, we call her, was taking it as a growl, and she was attacking her. And Tiffany was beside herself. She didn't know what to do. We didn't have an extra room at that time, so we were really scrambling. And we decided to put a big, extra large crate in the room and put Sweet Pea in the crate so they could at least be together. And then we started them on doxycycline. It's very common for dogs that are rescued from the shelter to start coming down with kennel cough. So the coughing and the sneezing, but they have been fine. No more of the growls. They play rough, but they love each other. They're young. They're about a year old. There is no reason that 8 months to a year. There's no reason that they need to stay together. I mean, it would be awesome to see somebody adopt them together, but we know how difficult it is to find homes for bonded pairs. So with that being said, we're not going to make them sit in a room indefinitely. They're young. They can find a loving home apart or a loving home together. If you had a fenced yard, they would do fantastic. Now, I'm glad you asked that, Lauren Smith. It's not their sister. We don't know if it's a mother of them or just another random dog that he had. We don't know for sure. And her name is Layla. So with all that being said, that's why I decided to do this video. If you can't hear me, go out and come back. It's perfectly, everybody can hear me because they're asking questions. Sweet Pea is the lighter one. And Pretty is the more rusty one. This is Sweet Pea. She was the more terrified one in the shelter. Mm-hmm. She was running from us. She wouldn't come to us. And then when they brought Pretty out, she followed her little sister around, and they were just fine. We actually took them on their first walk, and they did really well. The girls said they did. At first it was rough, but they got the hang of it, and they're doing really, really well. They're a mixed breed. Who knows what they are. But you're looking at these two beautiful dogs. Okay, I want to bring you back to the end of September when I was called from a neighbor where they were being forced to live in hot boxes. And a lot of people are saying, what's a hot box? A hot box is a box. It's a wood box. It is completely sealed tight, and it has a slat or a couple of slats in it. They can't see out. That's where they were being kept, and they were living. They were being beaten, because I had the audio that I shared with all of you. So when we received all this information, and I went out to location with my girls, and I did live video feed, and you saw this monster of an owner and an abuser coming towards us at our car, threatening us. The neighbors were scared for their lives. We had to go and spend 9 hours at a courthouse getting a restraining order because we were receiving death threats from this abuser. And this went on for a couple of months or more. I don't have the exact amount of days or dates because it just all runs into each other. We were on this case day and night and day and night. I have the emails back and forth. I have the live videos of us out there. I was in contact with neighbors that witnessed, and nobody wanted to be known because they were afraid for their lives living close by. They wanted to stay anonymous. Well, staying anonymous was not going to do any justice for these dogs. And the end of, I want to say the end of September. Now, I'll remind you, police came repeatedly, Tamarack police, the mayor was notified. I was on the phone with the mayor's assistant. We gave them all the video footage, the audio footage. The dogs were screaming and being beaten with wood planks. Then animal control came out. They kept giving them citations and told them that they have to break down the boxes. I was there the day with my team on the property behind the property where they were being abused, listening with the video of him cursing and screaming and breaking things as he was breaking down these torture chambers where these dogs were enduring their life, their existency. And I want you to all understand something. When a rescue as ourselves are called out, every day, every single day, we are tagged in cruelty cases, abusive, neglect, abandonment, and everybody's tagging 100 plus, or sending us messages. I'm going to be very honest with you, and I mean this with my whole heart and soul. I don't see any other rescue out there that is literally on the scene and taking the time to sit in a car and running and putting your life in danger and making the phone calls and dealing with animal control and the countless emails and the countless phone calls with the police department and BSO and the detectives. It is a full-time job. You can't just call, and you all know when you call on a cruelty case, nothing gets done. It is a job that has to be, it's sad that it has to be this way, but if we were just to call and just be a random person, nothing would be accomplished. It is full time, and I spend hours and hours and hours doing this on the back end that you do not see. With all of that being said, it took that long to get them to do something after giving citations, making them break down the boxes. They can't be left outside. They were jumping fences. They were breaking out. One dog, Layla, she broke out of that yard. It was the end of September. There was a volunteer, somebody that follows us. She's not with my rescue, but she's a wonderful person. She was there going through all of this. Her name was Tracy. She was driving and saw the dog running down the street. A couple of my volunteers were there. She jumped in their car and they brought Layla to the Broward Animal Care and Adoption Shelter. When I knew that they were bringing her there because it was an ongoing investigation, cruelty criminal case, I immediately reached out, and I have the email, getting her ID number and placing our rescue hold on Layla. I begged them in the email, please release her to us. They would not release her. This went on day after day after day, month after month. They would not release her. They said it was an ongoing investigation for a cruelty case. In the meantime, the other dogs were still on the property. I then was on a Zoom meeting involved with the cruelty case and the police. When they finally said they were going in and they were going to confiscate the last two dogs, and they were going to give him, he's going to be going to court, and he is going to be brought up on charges. I don't know what they are going to be. I was told he can never own another dog again. All of our hard work and our due diligence has paid off to get these dogs, just like these two beautiful, beautiful girls would still be stuck living in their hell. Right now they're in our yard and they're playing with toys and they're getting loves and they're getting cuddles. And that's what it's all about. But it's not that simple. And the reason I'm doing this video is because my heart hurts. I am so sick and so sad at what I am seeing on social media for people that have no idea what we went through to save these lives. And just because we act on a cruelty case that we get called on does not mean it is us and our responsibility to take those dogs into our rescue. It means to get them out of their hell, even if it means going to a shelter where they have a chance to be rescued by another rescue. We are one rescue. We are so full and bursting at the seams. We do everything in our power. And we always stay true to who we are. Always. We take the most critical. We take the bullies. We're not breed specific. We take the old, the blind, broken backs. We have dogs that bite. We don't euthanize. We have taken everything under the sun, over 4,000 dogs and hundreds of cats. Barney Smith, here you go. Can anyone help Layla? So with this being said, when Tiffany and myself and Shelly, we went to the shelter, when we finally got okay to come and get Layla, we went to the shelter and they brought these two out first. And then we told them to bring them back in, and it killed us to send them back in because we didn't have the room to take 3 dogs. These are not dogs you can put in one room, so please don't ask me that. Please don't ask me that. These are dogs that have been beaten, used. Layla has scars covering her body, beaten, abused. God only knows what they have been through. So when we went there and they brought these two back into the shelter and then brought Layla out, the man that works there, the behaviorist, he had her on a thick rope slip lead. We were sitting down. She chewed through the slip lead within seconds. She was lunging. He said, "Oh, no, you can't touch her. She is bitten 3 times. She's charging her kennel. She can scale 8 feet in the air." She was chomping in the air as she broke out of her slip lead. And believe me, it's not her fault. And I don't believe that she is a bad or mean dog. I really don't. I think she's a sweet dog, Layla. I think she's a really sweet dog. I think her life of living in a hut box and then going straight to a shelter and being locked in a kennel environment, I think it has broken her and destroyed her. I think that there is definitely hope for her. At this moment, we as a rescue, we are not equipped to take her into this home. She needs a behaviorist. She needs somebody that can work with her day in and day out. We have no rooms available, and we don't have the proper place for her. We have a 6-foot fence that she will scale in a second. If she's charging doors or whatever it may be, or biting, I'm not going to do her any justice. She needs a special someone to take her in and help her. And I am not going to pull a dog from the shelter because people decide that they're behind a keyboard and they're a keyboard warrior and they think they know it all. And they're going to try to corner us or push our back up against the wall. It's not going to happen here. No, our trainers cannot take her. What trainers are you talking about? Trainers that we use to come and walk our dogs or train them here and there? We don't have trainers that live here. She needs a trainer on full time. She needs somebody that's going to take her into their facility and work with her. I had Sanson Foundation. His name is London. He was recommended to me. Monday he was at the shelter. He assessed her. He called me Monday. I was praying for the best, and he told me he could not take her. He said that she was unapproachable and charging and biting. So they said they were going to try to sedate her and give her something to calm her and get her out of that kennel. You can't walk her on a leash because she chews through in 2 seconds. So it's going to have to be some sort of a metal chain. But then she broke a canine tooth trying to break out of the kennel. So she broke a canine tooth. I don't know what else to say to all of you. I don't know what to say to all of you that are watching this. If you don't understand, I'm sorry for you. I'm not going to apologize. Why is there political? It's like, I don't get this. Please keep the politics off the page. Thank you. I know you're not trying to make me feel bad, but trust me, Barney, I feel horrible. My team is sick beyond words about this dog. We have been reaching out to rescues, behaviorists, trying to get her assessed. If you can think of somebody, reach out on reach out on your own. Don't be afraid to reach out. But this is not a dog. It's rescue only, not a person. No person can walk into the shelter and adopt her. There's a reason for that. And when I was reading, oh, put her on transport. This dog cannot go on transport. Are you people insane? She'll be gone. Do you know that when we took these two dogs, they weren't even microchipped? We had to take them to our vet and microchip them. That's another thing I forgot to tell you. Pretty. Dr. Kesha sent me a text. She came back heartworm positive. He wants to recheck her. Did they do blood work at the shelter on them?
Yes.
And it was negative. So it might be the test. He wants to retest with a different test. What I want to do, I want to bring her to Heroes and have her tested.
Yeah, because they sent out the blood test with the Acuplex.
Who did?
Kesha.
Okay, well, he said that she came back heartworm positive. So we need to recheck. Take her to Heroes and just have a heartworm test done. We need to know.
Yeah, because they're set to be spayed Friday.
Yeah, we need to know. So there's another thing. We take these two babies out of the shelter. We ask them, make sure. I mean, we shouldn't even have to ask. What? Yeah, it's pretty. Yep, I'll even show you the text. And they weren't even microchipped. How do you let a dog leave a shelter that's not microchipped? Now, if Layla leaves the shelter and not microchipped and scales 8 feet in the air, it's just bound to happen that she's going to escape, and then we'll never get Layla back. I don't know what happened with protocol. I will not be bullied. We are doing everything in our power. I do not have the proper space and placement for Layla, and I will not be pushed in a corner. So sad they will euthanize her. Stephanie Roast, please stop. Please stop. Okay? We're trying desperately to stay positive, and we're trying desperately to try to find another rescue that is equipped, that has the proper placement with a behaviorist or an organization like... Huh?
I just reached out to them again.
You did? Nothing? No response?
I did it through Facebook this time instead of email.
We're reaching out to other rescues that aren't around here, that have more experience with these kind of dogs and the facility. And we're also, again, the behaviorist, for him to say, Amy, I can't. I don't have the space, the right space for her. She can scale a kennel. She can scale 8 feet. And I told him, I said, I don't have it either. He said, no, she's going to chew through your house. As it is, these two girls right here, the second day, the beautiful photos we had on our wall, they jumped up on the wall and chewed the photos off the wall. They chewed our night light. They're peeing on our couch. Are they still peeing on the couch? They're better now? Thank God. So they're learning to go outside. It's not their fault. But these are not your average dogs. They're all love. They're all love, these two. But Layla is older. Layla, I think, is 3 years old. These babies are 8 months to a year. A lot can happen in 2 years' time. So please, if anybody's posting out there about Layla, and we are going to continue to do our due diligence, and we are going to continue to try to find a place. We're not giving up on Layla. I promise you. Behind the scenes, we are focused day and night. I mean, I was in the kitchen today. Carol came home for break, and she's texting me from the other room with ideas. I'm like, please stop. We're racking our brains. We're trying desperately. It is not easy for a rescue to walk away from any dog. But if I am not that rescue that can help, I'm not going to do that dog any justice. I'm not. And if she should bite or attack my volunteers, I have volunteers coming in and out of this house day and night, all different volunteers. So right now we have to focus on getting Pretty retested for heartworm. They were supposed to be spayed on Friday. I am always honest and I'm always transparent. We have nothing to hide and nothing to be ashamed of. We are so proud of the work that we do every day and every night. Like you were asking me just now, what happened to the balcony dog? This morning I woke up, I was dealing with this, and then I was dealing with our dog Gidget, the people that adopted our dog Gidget, calling me crying that she died this morning, that she was bleeding yesterday and she rushed her to the vet yesterday. This is our dog that was adopted 7 months ago that we rescued from the Miami-Dade kill shelter, Gidget, that is on our page. She's now dead. She brought her to her vet in Orlando yesterday because she was bleeding. She was pooping blood. And they did blood work, and they sent her home with a pain medication and an antibiotic. And this morning, she died. She died. She bled out. And I was on the phone with the doctor that saw her yesterday. I was on the phone for hours all day about this. And I'm like, why didn't you do an x-ray? Why didn't you do a radiograph? Why didn't you do an ultrasound to see where the bleeding was coming from internally? She could have had a tumor. She could have been rushed in for surgery. Your negligence cost this dog her life. And he was just huffing and puffing, and he kept talking around me. He knew what he did. He killed Gidget. He killed her. And then I got another call, another message that our other dog passed away. Jackpot. And then I got I'm tagged all over the place in phone calls about a dog on a balcony in North Miami Beach. Some sort of husky that's locked in a cage 24/7, and the neighbor doesn't want to come forward because she's afraid of retaliation. So there's no witness. I finally get through to the leasing office after calling 20 times. I got through to the police. I spoke to the officer. The officer called me from the scene with animal control. She says, I don't see anything wrong. I'm like, what do you mean you don't see anything wrong? The dog is locked in a cage on a balcony 24/7. It is against the law. Oh, well, we're going to have to follow up tomorrow. We can't do anything right now. This is what we deal with. It's not that simple. Oh, hi, Amy. I'm the officer here on the scene. The dog is locked. We've addressed the owner. We've given him a citation. No, none of that. We don't see anything wrong with a dog being locked on a balcony crying and being told that it's being beaten. No, nothing. Nothing. So, guys, it is very overwhelming. And it's go, 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 go with no break in sight. I'm getting tightness of my chest from all the stress and aggravation. My team is exhausted. And I am not going to get myself sick or allow myself to get sick, because then I can't help anymore and I can't help anybody else. So with that being said, please, before posting, refrain and get the facts before you just blurt shit out of your mouth. Because what you're doing, you're hurting the dog and you're hurting the rescue. And I will always be honest with each and every one of you. I will never hide anything from you. If you ask, I will tell you. With all this being said, let's all say a prayer and let's keep sharing Layla. Let's hope to God that we can find her the right placement before it's too late. We are going to do our best to continue to find her a place that's safe for her, the right place. For now, we will stay focused on what we have in front of us. These two beautiful souls that need us. A house full of dogs here. A house full of dogs next door. Fosters. My team is doing all they can. They are exhausted. Exhausted. We go above and beyond. So again, if you have any questions, always send an email, ask. Please don't post shit on our Facebook page with things that you don't know what you're talking about, because you will be blocked, you will be deleted, and you will not come back. I'm not having it on our page. But we will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Anything at all. But do not come on our page and attack and post things that are not true and accusing. We're not having it. We're not having it. With this being said, thank you for listening. I hope I have cleared the air a little bit more for all of you. And again, please let's all stay focused and keep sharing for Layla. She needs us. That's where energy needs to be focused. And all the hundreds and thousands and millions of dogs all around the world that are sitting in the shelters facing death, just like Layla.
Hi, Yvonne. This is Tiffany.
100 plus abandoned dogs of Everglades, Florida.
Yeah,